Hello, my name is George Moore, owner of Moore's Sewing Centers in Southern California. And I'm excited here. I've got my friend DJ Anderson with me, and we're going to discuss embroidery, but really the best practices in embroidery to bring your embroidery to perfection. And DJ, let's go ahead and bring you into the camera here. So last year, DJ joined me here. Almost a year. It's actually a little over a year. Was it last March, I think?
Yeah, last March.
Okay, so that was an event that really was well received because, first of all, let's do a sound check because sometimes we don't have our. Everybody's hearing us. Okay, good.
Right,
so
good.
like, share, and comment because I forgot to offer a prize. Okay, so what we have here, upside down, we've got Floriani thread. Okay, this is a 30 spool set of thread. Each one of these, they retail for $6.49. So you do the math, that's over $194. So you would like this, wouldn't you?
I would.
Okay,
Yeah.
someone out there is going to win this. How about I'm going to give away 2 of these?
Oh, wow.
Okay, so like, share, or comment. So that brings me into saying that you probably hear me, so that's good sound check. But like, share, and comment, and you potentially could win this prize. Okay, so now I would bet if you're out there and you're tuning in, and you have an embroidery machine, okay, I'm going to see their virtual hand. Okay, raise your hand if you have an embroidery machine. Okay, I can see you out there. I can see all the virtual hands. Keep your hand raised if you bought it for embroidery. And they're supposed to laugh. They're going, duh. That's a virtual duh. Okay, well, here's the thing. Okay, when you buy an embroidery machine and then you buy a design, okay, or a design is built in, there's a flaw in that design.
Correct. There definitely is.
Okay. All right. So the problem is many of you are right now trying to call me and say, George, you sold me flawed designs. It wasn't me. Okay. So here's the thing. Okay. Let's say I'm a digitizer. I know a lot of really quality digitizers. I mean, some of the people that are really the celebrities out there. Okay. You do as well. Okay. What do they do when they digitize a design? What is their goal?
Well, their goal is to create a design, and you are creating it like for a specific type of fabric generally. You're not able to really customize it for everything, but you're trying to create it as generic as you can, but that will work for most cases.
So they're making it average. Okay.
Average, yeah.
So you have a design and it stitches out average for everything. Okay. I had this conversation with one of my daughters. Okay. They have finals this next week, and she goes, I think I'm going to get a C. I go, well, that means you're average. I don't want you average. I want you above average. She's probably listening out there, and I'm going to get it tonight. So the point is, we want excellent embroidery. Okay, and so the problem is there's a mystery out there. Number one is the design. We're going to go into that, but then stabilizer.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. I mean, we got stabilizer. I cannot learn enough about stabilizer. Okay. And so if there's 2 things though, here's what happens. What if you have a bad design and you just add stabilizer?
You're just going to add a lot of layers, and you're probably going to have a really stiff design.
A very thick bad design.
Yeah. I call them bulletproof design.
Okay. So raise your virtual hand out there if you have this. Do you have anything that's too heavy to wear? Okay. Do you have something that looks like bacon when it's done? Okay, so someone say, if you do a bacon emoji, post that. It's probably out there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so DJ, let's switch it to you. I want you to show a little bit about what the Save to Sew feature. I'm going to just let it go from there. I want you to talk about this feature.
Yeah, the Save to Sew feature is kind of at the heart and soul of the Floriani FTCU software, and the whole purpose of it is to help you get perfect embroidery every time. And that's the key, is like every design is created to work on some specific fabric, but we don't always stitch the designs out onto the same fabric every time. And we definitely need to modify the design for the fabric that we're going to stitch it onto. And so Save to Sew is our kind of helper in embroidery. Like literally anyone who has an embroidery machine and does embroidery, they really need to have this feature.
So this software, we're going to talk about a lot of features, okay? But if you have an embroidery machine, and you want perfect embroidery, this software, the FTCU with Save to Sew, is your answer.
Yeah, definitely. And I want to show you why and run you through it to show you exactly how that works.
Okay. All right, let's go to this
So,
computer.
you know, this design that I have up is just a fun little frog design here. And I want to get this one ready to stitch onto a specific fabric. So the first thing I'm going to do is come up in here and choose this Save to Sew icon. And when I click it, it's going to bring up a wizard. And this wizard is going to help you kind of walk you through the whole process.
This is a good wizard, right?
Yes.
Because there are bad wizards too.
This is a good wizard.
Oh, okay, good.
This is your best friend wizard.
This is Gandalf.
Yes. So we have a ton of different fabrics. So the reason that it asks us for fabric first is because everything we do with the design is going to be based off of that fabric. So we have to tell it what we're going to stitch this onto. So if we wanted to do something like a knit t-shirt.
Okay. So that's
right?
a very difficult, almost like a lycra, real stretchy knit.
Yeah, it's a really stretchy material. So it's kind of poses a lot of challenges. We wear a lot of knits because they're comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
However, most designs are digitized for woven fabrics.
Okay.
So that's why we get some
awful
results. Yes. So the great thing is once we do that, we have this little setting over here, which we tell everyone to click, because if you know Walter Floriani, he was the guru fifth generation digitizer. All of these settings right here are his settings. This is what he recommends for each one of these types of fabrics.
Now, Walter used to teach this at the big conventions.
He did. He used to teach this all the time. And the great thing is that you don't have to know it because we built it right into the software.
Right. So let's go to full screen. I just want to talk a little bit about your background. Okay, so you were instrumental in developing this feature with Walter.
Yes, I got to sit with Walter and we would go through all the different fabrics, and it was my job to take everything out of his head and put it in here.
So you
and
took
so
all
the
math.
settings, like all the densities, the stitch lengths, the pushing, the pull compensation, all of that. There's a specific formula for the different fabrics.
So the person using this, they don't have to worry about any of that knowledge. It's just that one button.
Yep.
Got it.
And now you've got Walter touching the design for you.
Okay, so let's go back to his computer and see what happens.
Yeah, so once we get to here and we go to next, because it knows what fabric and we want to apply new settings, when we hit next, it's going to actually give us the proper stabilizer recommendations for this type of fabric.
Okay.
So you can see that came up here, and it's going to tell you for this design, if you're going to put this onto a knit t-shirt, you really need to use a cutaway medium fusible, and you need to use a heat and gone topper with this. So this is something that a lot of times we struggle with, is like, I've got this project, I got this design, I now need to put this onto this fabric. What stabilizer do I use?
Well, and what's huge too is that you have those YouTube links. So we're not going to click there, but first of all, there's so much good information out there with YouTube, and this goes right to Floriani's website, right? Our YouTube,
like YouTube
channel
video,
and it will tell you specifically the procedure using that process.
product.
And I've been there. The point is that you can never know enough, and usually there's something you're doing wrong, and that's why your embroidery doesn't turn out right. This is going to give you that perfect information. That's awesome. Okay, so what does it do next? So let's go
so back. When I go next, I'll hit finish, and I'm not going to save this design, but there is something that's really neat that's happened here.
What's that?
And this wasn't here before, but I'm going to circle it. It's over here on the right. It's design notes, and if you look at it, it says step 1, fuse the cutaway medium. And so the nice thing about this is whenever you go to print that sheet out, like your color sequence guide, this is right down at the bottom. So now you can take that to your machine with you, or if you don't stitch it out right away, you have the formula right there.
That was added, right?
Yes.
We're going to talk about upgrades, and that was added for free, wasn't it?
Yep.
All right. So that's a huge thing. We're going to talk about that later. So what did that do? So it has it. So have you done that? So let's look at inside. That changes the design, doesn't it?
I turned something off here. I don't know what I turned off.
Okay.
But yes. So the design has been modified for the type of fabric that we're stitching it on. And we actually have a sample.
Okay, so let's do this. So here's the sample before. So raise your virtual hand if this has ever happened to you. Doesn't that look like he looks like he is a very weird frog? The outline is stretched. I mean, you can just see it. See, the point is, if you're doing a straight stitch outline on this type of knit, and by the way, this is really stretchy knit. We've all had that. Okay, so that was just the way it was. Okay, no save to sew. This one was after you process save to sew. Okay, look at that. Isn't that amazing? So the density's right. It's been readjusted. The lines are right. It suggested the right stabilizer. Okay, now you might think, I don't sew on knits. Well, okay. A lot of my samples I do for demonstration, I do on woven. And here's a problem I get. This is a beautiful design, but I always get puckering right in there. Okay, so that was done, that was stabilized, but it's just all the intersection of that design in the fabric. You can't press that out. This is a sample that DJ brought. And look at that. That was save to sew. That's perfect. Perfect embroidery. So the moral of the story.
Yeah.
Let me get back over here. The moral of the story. If you own an embroidery machine and you want perfect embroidery, you buy FTCU.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's save to sew. But there's other features. This is a feature packed. So show us some of your favorite features.
Yeah, outside of save to sew, a lot of people do lettering, right? So lettering is we're always monogramming something, especially when we're making gifts. And with the Floriani software, you just have so many different lettering options, like doing vertical text. You can see here monograms, which are very popular, and there are even decorative elements under them. There's over 140 fonts.
What, 140 fonts?
Over 140 fonts, yes.
Wow.
And like with my masterclass, I digitize fonts and that install into the software as well.
And I see it's a true type font, so you can actually access all the fonts that are in your computer, really.
Yes, you can. So you can download fonts online that are true type fonts. You can bring them right into the software and convert them into embroidery fonts. Really easy, and make it as a keyboard font.
That is so cool.
So that's one of the popular things to do. And lettering, there's all sorts of editing. It's a full featured lettering software because lettering is so important.
Now, one thing I do want to make clear is that this program works with every format of embroidery, regardless of machine you have, regardless of hoop size, because you can define the hoop size, right?
Yep.
You also have, I think, pre-programmed hoop sizes in it, correct?
Okay. For the
so
different
you might be thinking, will it work with my, name the brand here? I'm going to list all the different brands. Okay.
Yeah.
And you might think, well, I already have software. Well, I tell you, I have many versions of different programs. Don't you? You have a few.
Oh yeah, I have a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not uncommon to have several. But again, why do we buy this first? Save to sew.
Yep.
Okay. We've already established lettering. What about creating a design? What if I want to do a logo?
So that is another wonderful thing about the Floriani software is it's structured so much different than a lot of other programs out there, in that it works with like artwork, or a lot of times people call these SVG files now because everyone has cutters.
Yes.
Like if you own a cutter and you have SVG files, you can load those right into the software and convert it to embroidery instantly.
So that's a more perfect form of art.
Yes, right? It's the clean art that is scalable however large you want to make it. And once you have it, like you can see, this is like a piece of artwork. This would be like a SVG file. And we have all of these tools in the software down here at the bottom that are called convert to tools. So and I can highlight these a little bit here.
I was hoping you did that. Okay.
Yep. So if I just kind of go around here, these are all our magic convert to things. So I can say, I want this to be a run stitch. It's going to make it a run stitch. I can make it a motif. I can make it a satin.
So motif, those are stitches. That's like a sewing machine stitch, right?
Yep.
Now I happen to know you have a few motifs there.
Yeah, so motifs, we're never running short on motifs here. So you can see that this keeps going and going and going. Lots of motifs, and we just recently added some that are really cool
So
into the
you added that.
software.
Did they have to
Yeah,
pay for that?
no, they're just
They're
free
free,
updates,
free updates and
and
upgrades.
they're black work, so they're really cool, like kind of stitches.
Do you know how you convert that to red work?
Um, how to convert it to red work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Change the color thread.
You can change the color of thread, but we also do have, if you're making it a run, to make it a true one, you can just make it a double run.
Okay, there we go. Why?
That'll
That was my
make it-
dad joke. I had to throw that in there. Okay. Oh, sorry. Go on. So what are some of the other?
So some of the other things is you have all these different fill stitch types. Like this one right here. This is a fancy fill, and hopefully you can see that on the screen here. But again, just like motifs, there's hundreds of these fancy fill patterns that you can use. There are, like, you can fill it with a motif if you want. So you can choose different motif patterns, just apply it, and you can even get kind of crazy with it, and you can add them like multiples and string them together.
So DJ, I've been working with software for many years. I can digitize, but I'm not an expert at that, but I do this a lot. I use this type of software to make different fills, different shapes, and I use that with my machines a lot. And so that's why this is like that what you just did with that motif player on the screen. Let's go back on the computer again. That right there, that design that he just created is going to be a perfect. It almost looks like a quilting pattern. Now you would do it a larger, but that would be something that's awesome. What are some of the other things?
Yeah, so those are some of like the stitch types, but there are so many more, like gradients. People always want to know how to do color blends, and you can just see with the click of a button, I've made that into a color blend. There are even like wave fill patterns that are kind of fun to work with here, and there's a bunch of different ones.
But these are all shapes. What if I have, okay, you mentioned, SVG file, that's a sizable vector graphic. What if I have a JPEG? Everybody has a JPEG. Okay, that's not clean artwork. That has all the dots, the little pixels. Okay, so do you have one of those you can bring up? I know I'm throwing a loop here.
Well, I would want to bring in an image, so I could probably bring in an image. Hopefully I have it set here to where I can
maybe
grab
like
one.
that frog. Because don't you? Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah,
good.
like this is an image, and the way that you know that this is an image is there's nothing here.
Okay.
Right. So if you wanted to trace it yourself, you have a tracing tool, and you can just trace it.
I don't want to do that. That's too much work.
There's a magic wand tool.
Okay. What if I want to turn that into
embroidery?
Okay.
Then I would use one of these auto digitizing wizards.
Okay.
So if I grab the auto digitizing wizard, I can come in here, and I've obviously clicked off of here. Let's see. There we go. We can just bring it anyway. I can take this owl that we just had up here. Okay. And now basically I can run through this wizard, and it's going to do all the work, and I get to see the side by side here of what it's doing. And I can even choose to like take this white out of it, which is in the background, and I can do a lot more here too. Okay. I won't go into that. But when I'm done and I hit finish, it's going to automatically digitize. And you see that right over the top of that image. That's
done. Okay. Yep. So that is for the person that says, I want to just create my logo. Now, I'm talking to the audience out there. If your family finds out you have an embroidery machine, I know someone shows up you haven't talked to for years, someone, distant relative, and they have a logo for you to digitize. That always happens. Okay, this is what you use. That way it's just instant. Okay. Yep. But what if, I think I interrupted what you were going to show. What if I wanted to take and turn that artwork into the graphic? Don't you have a graphic wizard?
Like for photographs?
Well, no, like to vectorize it.
Oh, to vectorize? Yeah, I could take that image and just turn it into artwork.
Yes.
Yep. So auto artwork wizard right here. It's this little wizard right there, and I can select my image. So I can take that same one, or do you want me to choose a different one?
That's good.
And I'll hit open, and I just run it through here really quick.
Okay. I want you to, keep going. I know this scene. Okay, right there.
Right
Okay,
there. Mhm.
right there. If you zoom in on that art, they can see it. It has outlines. That's what that did. That took an outline. Now
Mhm.
it's clean art. Okay.
Yep.
And then when you go into it, you can use those one-click wonders.
Yep.
That's the point I was making, is that all those shapes. I mean, why would I want to do shapes? Okay, those are showing tools of different fill, but you would do that with artwork. Okay, so now go to the next step. Okay, now you use the one-click wonders and you can
Uh-huh.
fill that, right?
Yep, I can take any of these pieces now and I can fill them with whatever I want. I could take this little eye right here, let's say, and I convert it to a fill here. I can just change it to whatever type of stitch I want to use. It's really quick and easy, just like I showed with the other of the stars. It's the same thing. This
Same
is
thing.
now an SVG file that
Exactly.
I'm converting into stitches.
So anybody can get professional results with their embroidery because of the tools here. Now, you were showing me a little, you mentioned about your master class. Why don't you show some of those things as well? Because
Yeah,
that's important.
so like I love, one of the things I love most about the Floriani software is the fact that it's very technique based. So I like to show everyone how to use all the techniques of the software. One of the things that I love to do is things like lace. So with lace, there are a number of tools with lace. I can just, let me go ahead and zoom out here. White work lace is one of my favorites. So white work lace, and I actually do have a sample of this if we want to show it.
Well, let's. You wanted to finish it before you
Yeah,
show?
I'll finish it
It's like a
first.
cooking show. You don't show the finished food first, right? You
So
show the process.
yeah, so I have auto white work lace tool here. I just click on it and I can just click in here and drag these little bars that I call them bridges. And these are what the software is going to use to create freestanding lace. This is all going to be freestanding lace in the middle of this.
So you start with a simple shape.
It was just artwork, like SVG file type artwork, simple shape. And then I can come in and draw these in, and you can make them going every direction. I won't do every direction on here. I'm just going to finish this one out by right clicking. And you can see that I just have some verticals. But if I show you this, I went all the way
Let's go to the sample
across.
Now.
Yeah.
And I want to have it so you can see that it's. So you use a water soluble stabilizer, obviously there.
Yep.
And isn't that's amazing? There's some neat things. That's actually, what is that? That's like a that's one of those towels you don't use. It's one of those towels for looking, not using, right?
Yeah. And the amazing thing is, like, and I love to point this out, is this is a very complicated thing to digitize.
Oh.
But the software with the tools built in, it makes it super easy to create a very complicated lace design.
Now, what you showed, you have education that teaches this, right?
Yes, and that's what I focus on, is teaching people how to use all of the different features of the software. And because we spend a lot of time programming these and making them, and I want everybody to use it. And I like to just explain how they work, why they work, and help you understand how to get the most out of it.
Well, and this is why I wanted you to come back. First of all, you're a great guy. I mean, we had fun last year, but the customers really responded to your education. And so many people, not only who had FTCU, enjoyed what you had to offer, but many people bought FTCU and are using it today. So show us some more about maybe some of your master class series.
Yeah. So you want me to show some highlights of it, like what's included? Okay.
Well, no. There was one more, couple more. You had one that you showed like that.
Like this.
Yeah.
This one was like a regular lace design. So utilizing like a regular Floriani lace tool, and it's going to turn this into a freestanding design with a monogram on it that I can change the letters of. These are the kinds of things that we create in the master class.
And are these done where they're following videos, or they're following?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So what we do in the master class is, it's a course. It's not like how-to videos like you see online. You get the file and you actually open the file up, and I have a video recorded of it, and I walk you through step by step. So instead of me just showing you how to do it, you're actually doing it. And that's the key, is you have to use the tools.
So like this right here, they would follow a video, they would pause it and do the steps.
Yep.
Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
So that's perfect learning.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So
and they can't miss a step because it's all right there in front of them.
okay. So explain what that is. So it's called the
FTCU Masterclass.
Masterclass. Okay.
Mhm.
So explain what comes with it.
So what comes with it is a lot of education. So like one section, there's multiple sections of it, but the first one,
Let's just show the full screen there. Talking to my
yeah,
computer guy here.
and so I've broken this down into different sections, and these are guided lessons where you open up the file, I walk you through it, and they're kind of bite-sized lessons that are going to help you get comfortable using the software. I assume that you just purchased the software and you opened it for the very first time. That's where we start.
That's awesome.
And we work from there, and we do things like resizing, changing colors, saving into different formats, using Save to Sew. And then we get into creating, which we showed doing the outlines, creating those shapes, either with the auto artwork wizard, and then converting it all the way through lettering and all the features, lace features and all of that. So those are all lessons you get to work through. You get the file, you get to work through it.
So now some people are online that bought last year. I want you to hold on. We have something for you. But this is what was being offered last year, correct? This is called the core.
Yeah, this is what I consider the core. This is what everybody needs to start with. I've had people that were even experienced with the software that have been using it regularly, and they tell me that they learned something in the very first lesson, even though it's like a basic, they learned something. And the thing is, it's all about understanding how it works.
Okay, so firsthand information. I've been learning how to do video editing. That's why sometimes you see the editing, and if there's a pop-up and there's a misspelled word, that's me. Okay, sorry. But the point is that I've been watching all kinds of videos, and some people are not very good, and you can't see. What I can appreciate this is that it's not a video. It's a guide that has a video to it, right?
Yeah.
So the video guide walks you through the guide, so you clearly see step by step. It's like point here, point here. I mean, isn't that correct?
Yep, it is. It's like taking a one-on-one class with me. Is really what most people tell me that's what it feels like, because they have the control of the play and pause and everything, rewind, that they can do that as much as they want.
And this is specific for FTCU.
Yep.
See, that's what's important, because if you were trying to make it for all kinds of software, it would not be good. It would be average.
Yeah, because you couldn't highlight what the software is all about if you were trying to make it generic.
Okay. Now, we talked about showing some samples. Do we have samples for this, or is it for the add-on?
Yeah, well, we have some.
Okay, I keep interrupting you. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Like some of the things that we do, I love a section, I call it digitizing with DJ, where it's not just a simple lesson. It's you get the piece of artwork like you see up here, and we break it down. I teach you exactly how a digitizer would approach this design, and then you get to do it all. And by the time you're done, you have the design, you've digitized yourself, that's this penguin, it will look exactly the same. And most people tell me they never think that they could ever do something like this, and they're amazed that they get through this lesson, they stitch it out, it looks identical.
That's awesome. Okay. And what's this right here?
This is one of the things that I do because I love all of Floriani software. I have training inside of my master class for every single Floriani software program.
Okay, we're going to talk about that. Yeah. I didn't know that. So you teach?
I teach everything. On the lettering master, Sketch-A-Stitch, Total Quilter, and Rainbow. I have lessons, and I even include my design outline.
Well, we're going to talk about the expansion pack, because that's no longer available, but it might be tonight.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, so what else?
So one of the other things that I love to do is I love to take these deep dives into a topic. So there's a lot of people that love to do things like applique, or they want to make patches, and they want to learn as much as they can. And what I do in these deep dive sections is I take that one topic and I teach you everything that I know about it. So like, for instance, on the embroidery patches, there's like almost 20 videos on just different ways of making patches, because there's different ways you construct it depending on what you're doing. So like lettering, all the different things with lettering, patches, in the hoop quilt blocks. I love making in the hoop quilt blocks. So I do a big deep dive on all the different ways to make a quilt block in the hoop.
Okay.
And
so this is all the core, but you have something new.
I do,
this
yeah,
year.
yeah. So I am always working. I
Uh,
never
I
stop.
understand.
So that's the teacher inside of me. So but I have to tell them about this.
Oh, do
though.
yeah, you were telling me this is awesome.
Okay. So I forgot to kind of mention this for a while, but I have something called the interactive manual. Now I'm a little bit the teacher side of me. I wasn't happy with the FTCU manual, so I rewrote the entire thing, like about 400 pages worth.
Wow.
And the thing that I didn't like about manuals were they just always had a small image and a little bit of text, and you couldn't print them out. You couldn't do anything with them. And I'm a person that likes manuals, but I also like to see it being done.
So let's stop you quickly. The software, no software today comes with manuals. You wrote a manual for it.
Mhm.
Is that basically it?
Yeah, I wrote it from scratch, 400 pages.
Amazing. Okay. All right. Go.
So
I'm sorry to interrupt again.
no, the everyone thinks I'm crazy but
Well,
that's
I
the
mean,
teacher side of me
they call me
that I have
Crazy
to
George.
do.
So.
But the cool thing about it is that you can see, like, this image right here has a little halo around it. That means it's a video. I can click on it and it will open up and play a video. So as I'm going through the manual, I can actually see that tool in action.
Okay, so this is like we pull up on a tablet, we pull it up on a
Yeah,
computer.
you could load, because it's a PDF file. You could put it on an iPad if you wanted. I have customers that have actually done that and went on plane rides and watched and went through the whole manual.
Yeah.
And the great thing about it is that it's searchable. Because it's a PDF, I can come in and I can type in something like applique, and now it's going to take me and show me every single place in the manual that
That's so
talks
cool.
about applique. So if there's a certain thing that you want to learn about, you can just type it into the search.
Yeah, people would buy that alone, and
Yeah.
they're getting so much more.
Yeah.
And that's part of the core, right?
Yep, it's
The
just
core.
part of the core.
Okay, so everybody who bought last year got this.
Yep.
Okay,
Mhm.
so those same people say, "What more can I get?"
Yep.
Okay, and that's what you have next.
Yeah. So what I've done, this is all the other stuff that's in that one, but I created an add-on program for 2023 where I did a bunch of different projects. I really kind of went project-based. You can kind of see a little bit here. If you're at the event, a live event, you'll see them there. But I have a bunch of designs. I digitize fonts regularly, and if you can see them on the screen, they're all script style fonts, the ones that everyone wants but you can't find for embroidery. So those are fonts that are included. More deep dive lessons,
More motifs.
more motifs. I love making motifs. So you can see this will give you a little bit better view of just like
Now,
some
you have
projects
some
and
samples
stuff.
here. You want to?
Yes, I
Okay,
do.
so let's bring the camera up here, and
Mhm.
why don't you kind of
Okay.
stand up here
Yeah.
and go through direct this camera here, where to go.
All right. So some of the things that I did for this year is a couple big projects I worked on with a friend of mine, Debbie Homer Hoffines, who I travel, do some events with as well. And we teamed up and we created a few projects, big projects. So right here is our floral tapestry quilt.
Zoom in on that if you can. Okay. Now,
So this is all done using Total Quilter. So using Total Quilter, this is all done in the hoop. But the neat thing is when we made this project, not only do you get all the blocks, but there's videos that walk you through step by step how to make the entire quilt, including a special way of doing the
okay, so
sashing.
let me clarify this. So not only when they get this, and this is in the 2023 add-on, if they just want to sew this out, you have everything and the procedure how to make this, right?
Yep.
But they also have the education on how to make the pattern themselves. So
Yep.
they're going to learn how to create this for other patterns.
Yep.
That's
Mhm.
huge. That's huge.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a whole part of doing education is, I can just give you stuff, but I also want you to learn how it's done so that you can hopefully do it yourself as
Okay,
well.
now let's keep going.
Yeah, so there's even one right over here. This is a fall table runner over here. This is a fun project. We have these his and hers elves, which this is just lettering like you can get right from your machine, and you can put anybody's name in it. But there's a video and instructions on how to construct this whole thing.
And this is
they're
for
very
any machine as long as you have FTCU software.
Yep.
Okay.
And this is just another example of that same quilt with different fabrics and no sashing in it, just to give you an idea of how it's different. And then we even have this one down here. This is a floral applique, making these blocks in the hoop and just making this project. So there's some really elaborate projects that are included.
So let's
with
go back to the
education.
screen, because that way, that's just one facet of the 2023 add-on. Okay, so let's go back to the screen here and go back to all the different facets of it here. So
yeah, so we have like,
okay, you got the fonts like you mentioned.
the fonts, and then those lessons where I walk you through step by step. We digitize these designs together. You get the full thing when you're done. There's a bunch of motifs, and they're all themed around spring, fall. So you can see there's like some Halloween stuff, all sorts of stuff.
Okay, all right. But they really need if you don't have the core, you need the core first.
You do. The core is at the heart and soul of learning the software, and then we just take it to another level in the add-on.
Okay. All right.
So it's you definitely need the core, and then getting all that content, then you can fully utilize the add-on.
Perfect. All right. Well, let me show them because we have a special on this tonight. Is there anything else that you wanted to show? I kept kind of we had a plan to go over, and I just threw everything out the window, and they're all shaking their head. Yeah, he does that all the time. So sorry.
No, that's great. This is what I do full time.
Yeah.
So I love teaching. I want everybody to utilize the software they own. And I know just over the years, so many people have begged and begged for really good education on FTCU, and that's what I've created in this. My background is a teacher. I used to teach high school. And so it's all about building the curriculum in a way that people can understand and learn from.
Okay, so the thing about it is that once you buy FTCU, you'll have it for life. And so that's what's great about this. He's going to provide the tools so you can keep learning and have fun doing it. And that's what I love about this here. So we've got some special events. So let's go ahead and bring up the computer here. So we had there's the core bundle. This is what we offered last year, but it's really the fundamentals. Again, just to clarify, you need FTCU. You can't just buy this and think you can digitize. This is completely interactive with that. And we're going to give a phone number real quickly, and I bet I'll get that question. That's okay. I mean, that's just fine. You need FTCU, and we have a way for you to do that. So this is, I have over 50 hours, but I think that was a typo. I think it's when you put, I saw 100 hours.
Yeah. I have, and actually, there's over 900 videos, not 300.
Okay. All right. Well, you get as long as what we're offering is better than what my print says. I think that's good, right? All right. So the total value is $800, and I was looking at our event last year. I told you this last year. I want to tell you again. That's too cheap.
It is.
I mean, the fact that he rewrote the manual. Okay, we have this on special for $399.99. I mean, that's huge, and it also has a design. The butterfly. We didn't show the butterfly, but we're going to show the butterfly on another thing. Okay, fonts, all kinds of stuff. So if you own FTCU, you need this. I mean, just without exception. Okay. Now, for those who have this, and you want all the new stuff, that's the 2023 add-on bundle. Okay, that's a $600 value. I mean, those projects alone. I mean, I know what this takes to digitize. It's a special for $299.99. Now, my customers, they want it all. They want it all. Okay, and you're going to save. So if you want it all, you add up everything. That's both the core and the new add-on. That's everything. It'll be a total value of $1,400. Again, that's too cheap. Okay, because you're going to get everything for $599.99, and so that truly is a deal. Now, we are actually live right now, and so we have a phone number that you can call and order this. Okay, and it's as you see, 714-279-6830. You can also click in the link, and I know I have someone, at least on Facebook, posting links, but it's also in the description of both Facebook and YouTube to go to our landing page, and you can buy it right now, okay? But don't wait. Give us a call on this here. Now, you can call the 800 number, but that will go into voicemail right now. So right now we have live 714-279-6830, and you'll be calling into our Brea location, and they'll go ahead and answer the calls right now, okay? So now, you're thinking, okay, what does this do for me if I don't have FTCU? Well, let me tell you. Okay. FTCU software will truly bring perfection to your embroidery. We talked about Save to Sew. We talked about the digitizing, the sizing, the lettering, the editing, all those things, okay? All these things are part of FTCU, okay? But our number one feature, I would say my favorite feature, and I think the customers who get this, it's Save to Sew. They love Save to Sew, okay? And so, but we mentioned it a couple times, free upgrades for life.
Which is
not,
amazing.
Not updates, upgrades. Now, I remember it's been maybe 12 years ago, maybe longer, that they gave a whole new platform.
Yep.
Okay. How long ago was that?
That was in 2014. I remember
it
well.
Boy, that's a long time. Okay. Wow.
Yes.
So they spent millions of dollars because they knew their customers, they needed to get to another platform to go to the next level. They gave that free. People did not have to pay a cent. That's huge. There's not another company that offers this and has stood behind it. That's huge. So one of the things that I like, what are some of the things that they added in the upgrades past? I know that there was...
Yeah, so like photo to stitches was probably the most requested feature for years, and we added that recently, and people love it.
Well, you have a sample up here.
Yeah,
let's go to the
do.
computer here, and then we'll have a stitch out sample.
So this is a sample actually that did of Walter Floriani,
Okay.
and this is one that I actually have framed. So I took this, stitched it out, and had it framed, and we actually have that sample here.
So let's switch to that camera here. There it is. So that was from a photo. Now, do you have the photo up that we can just see?
I can bring up that tool just to kind of show you and this is actually, this was how it was created. You can't really see it. I can't make it too big, but there it is. There's
okay.
the picture.
So that's that could be from a phone. Okay. And you basically, I saw you do it. It was a couple clicks and it's automatic. Now, the thing about this here is that was free. That was added as an upgrade. Okay. And then I know that there's been fills, there's been font. You mentioned fonts, you mentioned motifs, but the point is that this is a software. Once you buy it, it will never have to replace it. Okay. And that's what's huge. Okay. So let's go back to my screen here. So, and I was talking with DJ, and I'm a nice guy. Okay, I'll have to say I'm a nice guy. I'm not a mean guy. Okay, but somehow when I call the vendors, it's not like I'm mean, but I get them to do things because I want my customers to get the best deals. Okay, and so what happened is I brought back something. I made them know. I suggested to them, why don't we bring back something that we had a year ago that no longer exists? Okay, and that is the universal bundle. Okay, this doesn't exist anymore except here at this event, virtually and through, and we're going to talk about when it expires. Okay, what does this mean? Okay, Floriani is a standalone software, but then they have add-on programs. Okay, and they it's about 3 years ago, 2 years ago maybe, they came out with the universal bundle for a limited time, and that is in one program they added 4 additional programs, so it acts as one license, and it adds Rainbow software, which I know you're going to show that. That's huge. Lettering Master. I mean, you love fonts. This can create total fonts all you want. Sketch a Stitch, which is really cool. I was actually watching my daughter sketch with her iPad. She could turn out with stitches. It's just easy. Okay, and then Total Quilter. Now, Total Quilter is powerful. That's 3 programs in one. And I know you're going to show us a little bit about that. So let's switch to your computer.
Yeah, and Total Quilter is one of my favorite programs. And I wish, I love teaching about it because I love people to know about it, because it is truly an amazing program. And you have all these blocks that you have access to. You can see in here, you can just like kind of flip through. These are all blocks that we can turn right over into files that we stitch out at our machine. And you can easily change things. It's a very simple. One of the things that I love most about Total Quilter is all of the advanced stippling stitches. This is what I use not only for quilt blocks, I use this in all my embroidery designs. So there are hundreds of different motif fills and stipples that aren't found in regular FTCU. So you only get those with Total Quilter, and you just apply those to it, and you get all these little decorative stitches.
That's huge. Now, the sample that we showed on the wall, that was made with Total
Yeah,
Quilter.
so the quilt blocks, the sample on the wall were made using Total Quilter, and I even have a
There was
sample
here. So let's go
Yeah,
closer there.
so this is like a sample of one of the blocks here and turning it into just a little
And in
tabletop
my
or-
understanding too, you can even export it to your cutters.
Yes,
And they'll cut the fabric out.
it does. So it will take this file right here, and this is what's amazing about it. When you go to save it, it will automatically create the cut files for you and save them.
And that's for all the cutters.
For all the cutters.
Yeah.
You get to choose which cutter you have and what size of mat you have for your cutter, and it's going to create the files with the seam allowance that you choose. It will automatically do that behind the scenes. You don't even have to do anything.
Okay, so this one program alone, I know retails are like $1,500. Okay.
It does.
Okay. So what else? What was the other program? The Rainbow. Okay.
Rainbow.
That's a
huge thing. Rainbow is one of my favorite new programs, and actually I have this design right here. One of the newer features of Floriani software was something called Ripple Fill, and I'm just going to click a Ripple Fill right here.
So Ripple Fill was an upgrade.
Let me
a free upgrade, right?
Yes, it was. It is a standalone program, so it's like its own little program.
But Rainbow, but the Ripple Fill program.
Ripple Fill, yes. So this was just a free update, and you'll see when I click on this button here, I can take this SVG file and I can turn it into this Ripple butterfly.
That's cool.
And I'm going to put this background to black really quick because I really want you to be able to see what we do next. So Rainbow is a program that it takes a design and it makes it multicolored. And it does it with like a click of a button. I'm going to select it and just go into Rainbow. And when I select that, this new window pops up, and you're going to see right away, it's now a multicolored design.
But what I noticed, it's the Rainbow is part of the toolbar. So it's actually part of FTCU with this expansion pack.
Yeah, when you have the expansion pack in there, you get it right inside of FTCU.
Because I know some people got it separately, but they wish it was all part of it.
Yes.
Okay, that's huge. Okay.
Because then you get to utilize all the features of FTCU with it. So the neat thing is it's not variegated thread that you're seeing. This is a different color of thread. It automatically is making it a multicolor. So there are a bunch of different presets that you can choose from in here. And
I like presets.
Yes, I do too. And here's what's really neat. It's super easy. Like if you look at this design and you see this like greenish color, if it's a little bit too much, there's a little slider on here. I can just slide and expose more pink if I want. Just really quick and easy. I can just modify this. I can even change that color from maybe this green. I could find maybe a purple color that I want, change it, and now that's purple. And when I'm done, all I do is hit OK, and all of a sudden I have this amazing multicolor design.
Now we have a similar sample here.
Yes, we do.
So let's go ahead.
Yeah, when I made one of these butterflies with the Ripple Fill tool, and then I played with the Rainbow, I ended up making like 22 butterflies.
Okay, so you see the bottom ones, hold the camera there. That's just the way they came up without the Rainbow.
Yep.
And the Rainbow, I don't know if you can see that. That's how many colors? That's like 4 or 5 colors.
Yep.
But it blends together. It almost looks like it's a translucent. I mean, you can't tell the change. That's so awesome. That's one of the best samples of that. And that software's so easy. So that's the Rainbow software. Now, what about Sketch? Or Sketch-A-Stitch?
You know, so Sketch-A-Stitch is a lot of fun. It's I like to say, especially if you have kids or grandkids and you want them to get involved with embroidery, Sketch-a-Stitch is a program that you have an icon right up here when you have the expansion pack, and you just select it, and now you get this toolbar where you get to choose different brushes, like a run stitch, satin, or anything like that. I'm going to just choose a run stitch, and you literally just draw on screen. So you could take it, you could sign quilt blocks, you can sketch any design that you want. It's just kind of like free motion digitizing inside of the software.
Okay, so with this, there's also an app that they get to run it on an iPad,
Yes.
which brings up something. The question is this a Mac software? And I happen to notice, what kind of computer are you using?
I have a Mac.
Okay, all right.
do.
So the question, it's not a Mac software program, but you can use, what are you using?
I use Parallels.
Okay, there's many different programs that emulate the PC, and it works fine.
Yeah, I've been doing it this way for probably over 7 years. I've had it exclusively on Macs running Parallels.
Yep. So the reason why, I mean, I'm a dual household. You work with Mac, but I'm really a PC person. All my daughters are working with Mac. Okay. But the point is that why is the embroidery industry based on PC? And my answer is it's always been. Okay. And it's not graphics. It's basically more like AutoCAD. It's more coordinates, right? Okay. So we want a program that's been out for many, many years, all the different versions, and all the Mac only softwares, they're relatively in their early stages.
Yep.
Okay. So that's why it's huge to be able to run this software, which is PC based, on either one.
Yep.
That's awesome. Okay. I just had to throw that in there. I recognize what you have there.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go back to my screen here. So that really builds the value of the universal bundle. Now, it doesn't exist anymore except for this event, which is tonight and through the Sunday. We're going to talk about the specials. Okay. So right now they brought it back. I happen to know someone at RNK, which is a distributor of Floriani software. And, George, we're going to offer this for you for this event. Okay. So we've got the universal bundle. Now, here's the thing. Right now, Floriani FTCU software has a retail price of $42.99. Okay. I can honestly say I don't sell it for retail, but some people think that's so much for software. Well, this is so close to industrial software, and the average price of good industrial software is $15,000 to $20,000. And this, I've had people choose this, and they would gladly pay this. But right now, if you are near Google, you want to type Floriani FTCU, here's what you're going to find. Okay, I did that, and the lowest price I found, and I blurred out the names to protect the innocent out there, is $29.99.99, so $3,000. That's for just FTCU software. Okay, so you got that. But that's not what we're selling. We're selling FTCU plus the 4 expansion programs added together in one package. So alone, the quilter, the total quilter software retails for $1,500. I think the lowest I've sold it for was $999. That alone. So that's $2,500. But wait, there's more. I love saying that. Okay. We have bonuses. Okay, so we have bonuses for tonight. Now, I haven't told you the price yet, but we're adding more stuff. Okay, we're including, and you were surprised. Okay, they DJ said they're not doing that. Okay, and I called the head of the division, and they confirmed for tonight and for the next 4 days till Sunday, they're going to include the You Design It bundles. This is so huge. There's thousands of combinations, and they're interactive. Okay, and they're easy. People like easy. Okay, so we got one that's monsters. Okay, you choose the head and you choose the arms and the legs and you get it. Okay, and so pretty soon you've created your own personal monster. Okay, then what we've got other samples to show you in a second. But there's more than that. Okay, there are floral. There's monster trucks, which we have a sample of that to show you shortly. There are labels. Those are labels of birthdays. There's trains. I mean, thousands of combinations, and it's all done where you point and click, basically, right?
Yep.
Okay, so let's show that sample here. Let's go to the camera here. Let's hold that up so you can see it. I can do that here. Okay. Okay, so for those who are local or are coming to our in-person event, Judy Fredenberg is joining us. We all love her, having Judy come back to help and she made this. Okay, and so this basically, I guess you chose the color, the type, the tires. I can only assume all the lettering, all that. It's just you just click an option and it does it. It's awesome. Okay, so a lot of fun. And so there's so many things. So that is, I mean, that's a lot of value. All that is included. What happens is you register. Once you register the software, Floriani sends you that direct. Okay, that's huge, and it's not part of the universal bundle because the universal bundle doesn't exist, right?
Yep.
Except for tonight and tomorrow and through Sunday. Okay, so well, I'm also going to give the I Want It All bundle. Remember, that's both the core and the 2023 add-on. That's
huge.
Huge.
I was shocked.
okay. So he questioned that.
I did.
Okay, I'm always looking out for my customers. Okay, and so I want to give them all. Okay, so remember the lowest price you found just one component online. I know people are doing that. They're googling it right now. $29.99.99. Okay, but we're giving a lot more value. We're giving almost $10,000 worth of product. Okay, and tonight you can call, get a live person, and you're going to save over 78%. Well, actually, I did the math. It was 79.5% off the retail, all for $19.99.99. Okay. Yes, that's right. That's not a misprint. everything. But you have to do it now. First of all, once the event's over, you can't even get the universal bundle, and you'll pay for just the software alone, the FTCU. Not all the education, not all the bonuses, not all the expansion pack.
Mm-hmm.
People are going, oh, I want that. Now, some people think, well, I already have the software. I want to you do the math. You might want to buy it again and get. I mean, truly, no. I have a better way. Okay, so this is huge. Okay, and we do have interest-free financing, and here's how you can buy it. And call us right now, 714-279-6830. I've been listening. They've been writing up orders. Okay, we're live until about 8 o'clock Pacific time, which that's 11 o'clock on the East Coast. Okay, that is tomorrow in Europe. Maybe.
Yeah.
And I know I'm going to call from Europe now. Okay. But after hours, if you wanted to go to voicemail, you can call 1-800-865-9664, and they'll call you back. But our hours are going to be from 9 to 5. You want to get a live person, this number. I have this crew is going to be able to write up all the products for you. Okay, free shipping across the country, no shipping costs. Okay, interest-free financing. Click on the link. I know at Facebook. I know in the description you can actually see the link. We'll have the link up there. You can go to the landing page and purchase. And we do have interest-free financing. You can apply right online. Okay, but the question is, George, what if I already have FTCU and I want that expansion pack? That doesn't exist except for tonight. So the customer who owns FTCU can buy the expansion pack. Now, here's the thing. One of you out there is saying, I already have Rainbow. I already have Lettering Master. Well, remember, to buy the total quilter alone, it's $1,500. Okay, everything here is a $2,500 value if you bought it individually. You can buy it tonight for $599.99. We offered this last year, and I had people who missed the cutoff, and I couldn't get it. So this is your opportunity to get that. So if you have FTCU and you want the expansion pack, and the thing about this, even if you have one of those packages separately, it's separate. When you add this, it becomes one. That's the huge value.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this does not come with the education bonuses. So again, remember, you can add those things as well. So this is a huge value here. You don't want to miss this. Click on the link to order. Give us a call to order here. Again, you can call us tonight, 714-279-6830. We're going to be here from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, answering the calls. And this ends on Saturday in the stores or Sunday. So let's say we're closed on Sunday. Okay, we are closed on Sunday. Okay, but our website's not. You can purchase it online or you can call as long as you leave a message on the 800 number Sunday. We'll get back to you on Monday and offer. We're going to call the message, but the sale ends on Sunday. This is huge. So what else we got to remind people. Let's go to the camera here. Remember, we're giving 2 of these away. Like, share, and comment. The question is going to be, did I win? Well, we're going to offer this at the end of the sale, which will be next week. Okay, so you have a chance to like, share, or comment. I like shares because that tells people that you are watching this and they'll watch it too. Okay, now I forgot to say this. First of all, do you know what Sunday is? You better know.
Yes, it's Mother's Day.
It's Mother's Day. Okay. So I will tell you, the best Mother's Day gift is the gift you buy for yourself because you know what you want. And if you want this, you do not have to ask permission. You just say, it's Mother's Day. This is what I wanted. How's that? Is that a good? Okay.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good excuse. So the point is, if you have an embroidery machine, buy FTCU because
Save to sew.
Save to sew. It will make your embroidery perfect.
Yep, and free updates for life.
Free updates and all the other fun
all
stuff.
the other stuff.
And if you buy it here tonight, you're going to get all of DJ's education. If you already have FTCU, buy DJ's education. Okay. But don't wait. This will go away very quickly. I know someone's going to be watching this because once it's on the internet, it's on the internet, right? Okay. And they're going to call me on Monday, and you got to act now. So don't procrastinate. Get it now. Give us a call right now, 714-279-6830. After hours, 800-865-9664. Okay. DJ, I want to thank you for joining us. We're going to look forward. Now, if you're local to Southern California, you still can sign up for our in-person events. We have an event tomorrow at the Brea location. That's going to be all day. We're going to feed them. We'll have prizes. I know we're going to have all kinds of fun stuff.
We're going to have a lot of fun, learn a lot.
Okay, so that's Brea, California, for those who are not aware. And then we're going to Temecula, California. That's on Friday. And then Saturday, Mission Viejo. So you still have a chance to sign up here. So thank you.
No, thank you. I'm really happy to be here, and I'm looking forward to the in-person events too. If you're in the area, please come out. You'll enjoy it.
It's a lot of fun, and Judy Frenberg's with us. You're going to learn so much. And anyway, I thank you so much here. Don't forget, get your product, get your software, and if you have any questions, please contact us. Take care. God bless everyone. Bye for now.
Bye.